And hello to all my Scorpio friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and I will be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for August of 2021. They have dialed up for you today a four-corner spread. It looks at the four main areas of tarot, which is love, which is health, your work, and your finances. We're going to take a look at all four of those, perhaps dive deeply into one or two, depending on what cards come out and what they show they want to spend the most time on. And then we're going to conclude this reading at the end with animal totems. Very interesting stuff. They have directed me to give you two of them this month. That basically tells me that we're doing a transition animal totem, so we're going from one into the next. So I'm not just giving you characteristics about one. Very interesting stuff. They obviously have a lot planned for you in August. I'm ready. I hope you're ready. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. Go ahead and hit that like button and build up the energy in here. And I will give you credit, Scorpio. You guys did finish first place last month in the likes, so keep that up. You actually tied with, I think it was Aquarius, but they had so many more views than you. So the view to like ratio, you guys absolutely were the winners. So let's keep that going. And what I'm doing right now are my ritual cuts. It cuts the decks into three different pieces and puts them back together in a separate order. And that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Do that with both decks here. And that's the same procedure. Look, we got a floater. And that's the same procedure that my personal private readings do as well. Pretty much anything I do with tarot is the same procedure like this with the cuts. And then it's ready to run. So let's do the four corners for Scorpio. That's a fantastic way to start. It's pure sarcasm there. Okay. The biggest theme is going to be your work. Scorpio's in the work corner. We have big themes there. Let's see. I only need this guy. Okay, and we're ready to run. Let's get to work. Let's decipher all of this. I'm going to save your work for last since that is our major theme, major kind of the deepest dive we're going to go on. I'm going to start with, let's start with love, Scorpio love. They put this in a context that pretty much wherever you are on the Scorpio spectrum of love that you can understand this message. This is a much more generic message, but at the same time very powerful and important. And I'll give you examples. The message itself is that you have a lot of options right now, a lot of emotional options in your love corner. Love is not just love in relationship, but it's also your family and close friends, pretty much anybody that you love. They show a lot of options going on this month in August. It means different things for different people, such as if you're single, this could mean it's a very good month for you to have a lot of options, a lot of suitors out there, okay? If you are in a relationship or married, this means that you have a lot of options in love where you can take your relationship, different ways you can take things. I've had this come up for a lady I read when, I brought this up in her love corner and she's like, well, I've been married for like 38 years. I don't think we're doing anything like new in love. And I said, and she ended up talking about how, it was kind of like an empty nest thing. Her kids were like going to college, and I'm like, well, that's what it is. It's like you have a bunch of new choices of where you're going to take this now that your main duties of parenting are done. So basically what I'm trying to say here is the context of finding this should not be that hard. It's basically saying you have a lot of different options in your love corner, a lot of different ways you can take it. I always view that as a good thing. Sometimes sometimes having too many options could be taken as a bad thing. It's just like, too much to choose from, therefore you don't choose or you choose not to. But as long as you're not falling into that trap, I think you're just fine with it, and it's good to have options. So a lot of good stuff in the love corner there as far as ways you can take this. So start thinking about that. The other card that I have that describes what I just described is they're saying that you actually have a very good perspective on your love corner. Some of you have lost close loved ones. That comes up in the love corner because you loved them. They're saying you have a very good perspective on this. You're actually looking at the positive instead of the negative. This could also apply to anybody who has recently become single. You're looking at this very positively. You're looking at the good instead of the bad. So I want to see you continue to do that. That's very important, okay? So emotional, all they talked about in your love corner is emotions, which usually the two go together, but even more so for you this month. Very important for you to keep looking at the good as you chase these options and as you start prioritizing where you're going to take this, because you really have a bunch of different choices. And free will is a powerful thing. Let's just leave it at that. Powerful thing there. So there's your love corner. Good stuff. Let's move into health, Scorpio. There is an inaction. There's an inaction going on in regards to health. For some of you, this could be heart-related or center-related because it is cups, which I just described as usually an emotional thing. And in regards to physical health, this would be like heart or lungs or core, okay? So there's an inaction going on in health in your lungs or in your heart or in your center area. They're saying that it's kind of a choice between two things, but they're saying you kind of get caught into the dark side of it. Really, this is a reminder that either way you're going to come out okay. You might feel like this is a choice between two things. They're really kind of telling me to tell you that it doesn't matter which way you take this, because either way, either end result are indifferent. They're so similar that it's almost like it's not even a fork in the road. It's not a real choice, because either way you end up the same. So basically, what is going on is an inaction in the core. You have to decide what you're going to do about it. I would say to do something about it. They're not saying that inaction is a good thing for you. I would do some kind of alternative, and I'm assuming that you have like option A and option B, and I'm just telling you that it doesn't matter which one you do. So just pick one and go for it. Either way, it's better than leaving whatever this is alone. We want to get your health situation straightened out, and it's showing that there hasn't been a lot of action in regards to what I described. So there's your health. Let's do finances. Your finances show that they're becoming very interesting to you. I don't know exactly why that is. It's not very descriptive, but it's becoming interesting. It makes me feel like you used to think finances were boring, maybe because, it's boring when you don't have money to spend or something like that. But it's becoming interesting. So maybe it's improving. It's getting better. They do show that there is a decision that needs to be made financially. So I do want to push you to do that in August. It's coming up for a reason for a lot of you. This is the Judgment card, so it's blowing the horn on something. A lot of you already have done that. That's another thing that they're telling me to do, to make sure whatever this financial decision you have, just make sure you do it. They're saying that a lot of you Scorpios already have taken care of this, and basically the message is just for the ones who haven't, is we want you to blow the horn on this. We want you to take that action. It's not the same action as the health, but again, it's a call to action. So they're telling you to do something about this. I guess you have some money to move around or something to take care of, and something to wrap up as far as your money corner, because it is getting interesting, and I view that as a positive thing. It's improving. If it's improving, I don't really have a lot to say about it. Just make sure that you follow through with that decision-making process if you have a decision to make. As we move into your work, this is the big one. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to go into the moon cycles, because I actually just talked about it with the two decisions and the two actions. We talked about them directly. We have the new moon coming in on August the 8th in August. And that is basically the best time to manifest something new into your life. So if you're trying to take an action with this health, actually that's going to be full moon. Let me come back to that. Trying to take the action with the finance, trying to bring something new into your life by this decision. Beginning of the month, best time to do it. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, don't put it off. Full moon energy, end of the month, August the 22nd. That's the health side. That's when you're trying to get something out of your life, something, I'm assuming that's an action to get something out. Of course, it could be an action to get something in as well. It's really which way it lines up for you in the context of things. But the full moon energy is the garbage truck of the universe. It's when you want to get something out, and it comes toward the end of the month. It doesn't have to occur on the 22nd. You can really do it anywhere around there. That's why I just call it the end of the month and make it easy. But that is when you want to get something out. And it can be anything from physical things to emotional baggage to limiting beliefs to bad habits, any of that stuff truly can get out at the end of the month much easier than it could at the beginning. And I have made a little cheat sheet for the moon cycles that I'm giving away absolutely free. All you have to do is sign up for the newsletter. I send out one email a month, very easy, on the website, scottsagent.com. At the bottom, you'll see a little registration. You put in like your first name and your email address. It's so easy. Send it off and I will send you back the moon cycle cheat sheet. And that's not just for August. That goes through the end of 2021. So it is a powerful, resourceful tool that you can use to benefit your life quite a bit. A very good tool to especially since it's free. I mean, you just can't beat that. So take advantage of that as well. Let's get into your work corner. That's the big one. Something with work is going to kind of come down suddenly on you. It doesn't mean that you're going to be fired, but for some of you it could be that. It's basically some kind of collapse, but you kind of see the writing on the wall here. You kind of see this change, and I don't want to just say it's a bad thing. It's basically pretty sudden change, but this is fast change, but you can kind of see it moving as well. They do show a blocked kind of new love for work. So it's saying for a lot of you, you really have to love what you do. You really have to love work. Whether it's giving back to people or, following a passion of yours or whatever it is, you really have to do what you care about. So take that into consideration for whatever you're doing with work. They do show that things are getting busier at work as well. That probably plays into the entire theme of it, realistically. And that may also feel like why the tower is coming down, that sudden change, is because things are just so busy and maybe chaotic a little bit at work. But overall, if you're a Scorpio that's looking for a job, you can probably accomplish that pretty quickly this month. With that tower card coming up there, that would be one of the benefits to I'll say that that's probably the biggest push for you this month, Scorpio. I mean, just not obviously because we're spending the most time on it, but just it has the most potential to be something great because they're talking about that new love that's blocked. It's just a timing thing, and you being able to find that rest and relaxation part of work, that balance, that life balance is really what we're looking for here. So you kind of got to get through the chaos to get to that wonderful spot. And for a lot of you, the chaos is actually the hunt, the job hunt, or the going for a promotion, stuff like that. I also have message in a bottle, so you're being guided from the other side. Message in a bottle is always them trying to send you messages. I've actually had that come up for other signs this month a lot of message in a bottle. So they're really trying to get through to a lot of people this month. They're really trying to push hard with guiding you in the right direction. Please pay attention to the signs. Some people see cardinals. Some people see pennies on the ground. Other people, it's number patterns or whatever it is, songs, whatever it is for you. Please pay attention to it. They're guiding you. When certain things occur to you, pay attention to it, especially if it's not put in your head by you. A song pops up out of nowhere and you start singing the lyrics to it. Pay attention to what those lyrics say. So that's what I have for your work corner. A lot of movement in your work corner, Scorpio. So for a lot of you, hopefully this can turn into a very good thing. And That's what these messages are all about, is using this information to kind of prepare so that you're not caught off guard. So now we're going to conclude with your animal totems. Let's pull those here and see what we have for you. Animal totems. The first one we have for you here is a caterpillar. The second one is a sheep. So it's almost like they couldn't be any different than they possibly are. Okay, so let's talk about all the different transitions. My goodness. So the caterpillar to the sheep could not be any more different animals and organisms. But there's a lot of transition between the two of them. Here's what I mean. Both animals are kind of obliviously stupid animals. The caterpillar is not worried about what birds are flying around him and what might eat him. I guess you could say the sheep are a little bit more aware of their surroundings, but overall, neither of them are incredibly intelligent animals. And I'm not saying that about you, but stay with me. Here's the transition. The caterpillar is worried about transformation. Now, he is not aware his body's doing that, but biologically, his anatomy is. So he's doing his own thing, minding his own business, eating, getting ready for his transformation, doing his own thing. The sheep, on the other hand, they don't do any of that. The sheep are just sheep, and they're communal. They depend on each other for survival. Just one sheep out by himself is just doomed. Doesn't work. So the transition, okay? They're saying for you to be more communal in August. They're saying for you to not be so worried about yourself. But at the same time, don't be stuck on your transformation either. Kind of let that be for right now, okay? Just kind of take things easy right now, just like a sheep. Kind of just be that soft, cuddly animal. But also be communal. It's a good time to see family, friends, loved ones. See your people. Spend time socially getting out. That's what the caterpillar does not do. He spends all his time like a hermit, alone. Okay, so the difference between the two. And just like, and I don't mean sheep in any way stupid, even though I brought that up. That was just an awareness point of view. Neither one of them are high on the, pecking order for the food chain. So they both could become prey animals. And at the same time, none of them are really worried about that. But at the same time, as far as us reading this, very bad month for you to act like a wolf, okay? It's a month for you to be softer, to tone it down and just maybe relax a little bit. Find some peace, just like the sheep and the lion in the Bible, or the lion and the lamb, same thing. Find peace. It's a month for peace. It's not a month to worry about your transformation and how you're going to, adapt all these things, with the exception of, the few things I pointed out in our four corners. But overall, that's the message of the two animal totems in the transition between one to the next. Be a little softer, be a little more communal, be a little more social. Don't worry about the transformation things right now. Don't worry, and don't set yourself out there on an island all alone. It does not need to be that way, and you actually won't benefit from that. And also, like I said, don't be a wolf, and don't try to attack anybody. Very bad month to do that. Very bad month. That's going to come back to bite you, and we don't want that to happen. So hopefully that avoids all that, and you got some of the context of what they're trying to say here and how you can implement that into your August. So we have gone through the entire four corners. We have gone through the animal totems. That is where we're going to wrap up today. I do want to thank you for joining me. I do these videos every single month. Please remember to subscribe and like if you have not yet. That way you'll get the videos every single month. And I will see you guys in September.